Happy Monday to everybody out there. CJ Curry back with another Prize Picks video for you guys. It's December the 18th. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend and won a little money, got some rest and relaxation, and watched some sports. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please get subscribed. We are so darn close to reaching 20,000 subscribers. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subs by January 1st, and if we do hit 20,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away $1,000 to somebody out there. One of my subscribers, one of my ride or dies, one of my loyal viewers out there. So if you're supporting what I'm doing here on the channel, share this channel with a friend, share this video with a friend, hit the like button, subscribe button, turn on all those notifications, and let's run this thing up to 20,000. Listen, I'm willing to reach into my pocket and give away my own hard-earned cash to you guys. If we could reach that goal, 20,000 subs by January 1st, my 3-year anniversary on YouTube, I'm paying somebody out there $1G. That's a rack. That's a rack. All right, if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, guys, I highly recommend you make your first deposit and get started on PrizePicks. They got a lot of great promos going on this time of year. 12 days of Picksmas is underway. They've got a free Kevin Durant square out there. He's at just 0.5 points. Obviously, we're going to take the over on that because he's going to score more than 1 point out on Christmas Day. So definitely take advantage. Use promo code Curry, make that first deposit, and get yourself a 100% instant deposit match, dollar for dollar, up to $100. Special link down in the description of the video. All right, I got a few different options here, different ways that we could go on a couple of different players. So we're gonna start things off with a first half only play, first half only. And the reason I'm going first half only here is because the Detroit Pistons and Atlanta Hawks, while it does have a very high implied total, which is good, meaning these two teams are going to score a lot of points, there is absolutely positively a very high chance that the Detroit Pistons are going to get blown out tonight. And blowouts are not good, not when you're wanting to take full game props for more or over. So that's why we're looking at first half only. When you take a look at this game total, though, it's very high. Like I said, 242.5 points is the implied projection between these two teams. They expect them to score around 242 to 243 total points. But the spread is 10.5, meaning they expect the Atlanta Hawks to beat the Detroit Pistons pretty handedly. And again, that's not good if we're wanting to take full game over. So I'm going first half only here on Bojan Bogdanovic, 12.5 first half points, rebounds, and assists. So why do I like this pick? Well, first and foremost, if we go and take a look at props.cash at Bojan Bogdanovic's last 3 games, he's really started to pick up the pace in the first half, covering 12.5 PRA in each of the last 3 games. And he's doing it against some pretty tough teams. I'm talking about the Philadelphia 76ers back-to-back games. He had 19 and 16 first half points, rebounds, and assists. And then most recently against a tough Milwaukee Bucks team, he was managing to put up 17 points, rebounds, and assists in that one. So he's got 3 straight games here where he's actually gone over his first half points, rebounds, and assists line of 12.5. Now we take a look at this matchup. The Atlanta Hawks, not a very good defensive team. There's only 3 teams in the NBA, actually 2 teams in the NBA that are allowing more points per game than the Atlanta Hawks are. They're giving up over 122, nearly 123 points per game to opposing teams. As far as rebounds, they rank 21st in that metric, meaning there's it's a top 10 matchup here for Bojan Bogdanovic in terms of rebounds. They're giving up a ton of boards. And then assists, there's only one team giving up more assists than the Atlanta Hawks defense this season. And that's a great thing if you're Bojan Bogdanovic tonight. Now, on top of that, Bogdanovic is a strong 3-point shooter, and you can see that Atlanta ranks at the bottom here in 3-point and 3-point field goal percentage. He likes taking threes. He likes making threes. And so I think this is just a great matchup across the board for Bojan Bogdanovic. But again, we're going to stick to first half only because we don't want to take this guy in the event that this game blows out. Now, what this is here is a free DVP, defense versus position chart. And we're looking at the last 7 games here. And we want to take a look at how many points, rebounds, and assists that the Hawks are giving up to opposing power forwards, because that's what Bojan Bogdanovic is. And so when we take a look at the points category, the Atlanta Hawks right around the top 10 most points per game to power forwards over the last 7 games. So let's add some of this numbers up real quick. 25.69 points, plus they're giving up a whopping 12.1 rebounds per game, which is the 5th most. So we add in the rebounds, 12.18, and then assists, they're giving up about 4.82 assists. Now that comes out to 42.7, let's call it, points, rebounds, and assists. But we want to slice this number in two because we're talking first half only here. And when we look at that number, it's a 21.3 points, rebounds, and assists allowed per game to opposing power forwards in the last 7 games. So they're absolutely giving it up to opposing power forwards. So not only is he hitting at a nice clip here over the last 3 games, but if we look at the head-to-head matchups against Atlanta, this is going back to last season. This will be the first time that he's played the Hawks this season, but the last 3 times he's played the Hawks, 20 first half PRA, 14 first half PRA, and 18 first half PRA. He's 3 of his last 3 going up against Atlanta. Again, these are from last season, but still, head-to-head, historically, he's done a really good job of getting over 12.5 first half points, rebounds, and assists. Now, it's kind of hard to get you a projection or talk about this as a plus EV play, but here's what I'm going to do for you. We're going to go over here to RotoWire. We're going to just type in Bojan Bogdanovic's name. And when we do that and we take a look at the RotoWire projections here, he is projected for 25.93 PRA. So one way, it's kind of not an exact perfect science. One way that you can kind of get a projection for first half only is divide this full game number by 2, and then you're left with about 12.965. We'll call it 13 first half PRA. So just enough to get him over 12.5. So I think Bojan Bogdanovic in this case makes for a fine more play just for the first half PRA at 12.5. Now, let's talk about these next 2 players. Paul George of the Los Angeles Clippers and Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. Starting off with Paul George here, there's a couple different ways that you could go on Paul George, and I think both of them make a lot of sense. He's been a little shaky over the last 10 games or so. Hasn't been the Paul George that we know and love. Let's just be honest. The consistency hasn't been there, but there's a little bit of a narrative here. Paul George is returning back to the Indiana Pacers. He's visiting Indiana tonight against the team that drafted him, where he started his career, where he spent a lot of years of his early NBA career in Indiana. So let's take a look at some of those games. Historically speaking, when Paul George returns to Indiana, when the prodigal son goes back into Indianapolis, I mean, here's what he's done. You got this game. This was all the way back in 2017. He didn't really post very good numbers there. Played 33 minutes with the Oklahoma City Thunder with 14 points and rebounds in that game. Taking a look at this game here against Indiana, though, 42 points and rebounds in that game. He had 45 points and rebounds in 2019 as a member of the Clippers, 43 points and rebounds as a member of the Clippers versus Indiana, and then 54 in his most recent game. This was from last season, December 31st, 2022. 54 points and rebounds. No, I'm looking at either taking the points here or the points and rebounds. I mean, if we look at just the points he scored, 36, 36, 36, and 45 points against his former team. I'm just saying, maybe there's something to this. Maybe he enjoys, returning to Indiana, facing off against the team where he started his career. Now, just taking a look at what he's done here recently with the points and rebounds, first and foremost. With James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Ivica Zubac all in the lineup, here's your games and your averages for Paul George. He's hit the over on his 28.5 points and rebounds in 58% of the games in which he has played. That's not a terrible hit rate. Right around 60% or better. Those are the hit rates that I like to look for. Now, I mentioned over the last 10 games, things have definitely gotten a little bit more difficult for Paul George. He's only gone over this line in the last 10 in 4 out of 10. But then we kind of sprinkle in the fact that, hey, he is returning to Indiana. It is against his former team, and he does seem to ball out head-to-head when he goes back and plays the Pacers. Maybe his averages go a little bit higher tonight. But you know that this game is going to be one of those high-scoring games. Anytime the Pacers are involved here, you're looking at a very high-scoring, up-and-down, fast-paced style game. And this game should be no different. It's got a total of 240.5 points. It's the 3rd highest total on the slate. And what I really like is there's been a lot of blowouts recently. Talking about blowouts again. But this game here's got a total a spread of just 2.5 points, meaning it should stay close and competitive. We should see Paul George out there for 4 quarters of basketball, and it shouldn't be a situation where the game gets out of hand based on this spread here. It opened at 1.5. Now it's at 2.5. It's moved just a little bit, but still pretty tight spread, which means this game should go all 4 quarters, and we should see plenty of PG-13 out on the court tonight. So you could either go points or points and rebounds. So if we flip over and kind of just show you the last 10 games, the points and rebounds, they correlate very well. Normally, if he's hitting his points, he's also hitting points and rebounds. So not much, difference here in terms of hit rates. Just the points alone, I think he's at 22.5 right now on PrizePicks. He's got a 58% hit rate on just the points. Or if you wanted to go points and rebounds at 28.5, again, that's also a 58% hit rate. So it's exactly the same hit rate, the points and rebounds. So either way you want to go, you can't go wrong with either one. So taking a look at some projections here for Paul George. Again, we're going back to RotoWire in this case. Paul George is projected for 29 points and rebounds on a line of 28.5 on PrizePicks, putting him slightly over. And then you take a look at his points. 22.5 is the line. The projection on RotoWire is 22.47. So really close projection for Paul George in that case. And then we head over here to another site that I use, which is called Betting Pros. Betting Pros has PG at 33.2 points and rebounds. If you want to look at just the points, he's projected for 26.9 points. So Betting Pros is a free site. Go check them out if you haven't yet. But they have him projected well over his points and well over his points and rebounds. And you can also reference this over on NumberFire, another free site for those of you guys that are looking for free tools. Paul George, 22.7 projected points. And then you've also got him at 22.7 plus the rebounds, which are sitting at 6.2, 28.9. So we'll call it 29 projected points and rebounds. So he's projected to go over both points and rebounds on a couple of different projection sites. So for me, you could take the over on the points if you prefer, or the points and rebounds. Either which way, same hit rates. They're both projecting pretty well. And again, he's just crushed both of these in previous matchups against the Indiana Pacers. So let's move on to our last player. We got Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. Now, again, you're going to have options here. 2 different ways that you could play Julius Randle. I think both of these make for a fine look. First one being his assist at 4.5. So we go take a look at what Julius Randle's been doing here at 4.5 assists. You can see his hit rates for the season are really freaking good. 17 out of 25 games, actually, he's gone over 4.5 assists, averaging 5.3 for the season. That's a 68% hit rate for Randle. Or you could go points and assists for Julius Randle in this case. He's at 27.5 on PrizePicks. And when you take a look at this, he's got a 60% hit rate, hitting in 15 out of his last 25 games. But if you shave off some of the first games, he's actually gone over this number, 27.5 points and assists, in 15 out of his last 16, 17, 18, 19 games. So it's really 15 of his last 19 games that he's gone over 27.5 points and assists. And just like Paul George, Julius Randle's got a little bit of revenge narrative tonight. He's playing against his former team, again, the team that drafted him, where he started out his career in Los Angeles, taking on the Lakers tonight. When we take a look at Julius Randle's head-to-head matchups against the Lakers at LA, just like Paul George is playing at Indiana, Julius Randle's playing at LA tonight. You kind of get a look here. He's averaged about, or not average, but he's had 21 points and 2 assists. Decent game, all right? But here's where things heat up. 35 points and 3 assists, right? So you could go points and assists. He would have hit the over on that. Didn't have a great game here. His first game as a New York Knick back in LA, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. But the last 3 games, the more recent sample sizes that we have for Julius Randle, 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. He hits the points, and he hits the points and assists in that game. The next game, February 5th, 2022, 32 points, 16 monster rebounds, and 7 assists. So he easily clears the points and assists and the assists in that game. And then the most recent game, which was March 12th of 2023, he has 33 points and 5 assists, hitting both the points and assists and the points in that game. So he's 3 for his last 3 head-to-head against the Los Angeles Lakers when playing in LA. So definitely a little bit of extra added motivation for Julius Randle to go over on those particular props. You could go over 27.5 points and assists, or you could go over on just the assists at 4.5. Just taking a look at some projections on this one as well. Back to RotoWire we go for this. The assists are at 4.5. He's projected for 5.16 dimes today. If you're looking at points and assists, RotoWire's a little light on his points today. They don't think he's going to score very many points, I'm assuming. So they have him at 26.4 on the points and assists, slightly less than the 27.5. If we go over here to Betting Pros in this case, and we take a look at the projections for Julius Randle there, his points and assists are all the way up at 30.5 projected points and assists. Just isolating the assists on their own, he is projected to go over those as well according to Betting Pros. So 5.3 projected assists on a line of 4.5. You can also go over to NumberFire in this case and type in Randle's name over there. And when you take a look at Julius Randle's projection on NumberFire, they have him going for 23.5 points plus an additional 4.8 for the assists, which is good for 28.3 points in assists. So that's more than the 27.5. Or if you want to just go assists on their own, the assists are sitting at 4.8 projected assists. But I like both. I mean, they both have really high hit rates, and he's had great head-to-head success against the Lakers in previous games. So if you were to take the over on either one of these Paul George or Julius Randle plays, which one's standing out to you? Are you going like more or less on the points, more or less on the points and rebounds for PG-13? Or are you going more or less on Julius Randle's assists, or more or less on the points and assists based on everything that I've showed you in this video? I'd love to hear your comments. Guys, let me know if you're liking these picks or not. I mean, I think I've dug out some pretty good information, some projections, some hit rates, some head-to-head matchups. We've basically turned over every stone that we could. Hopefully they go out there and hopefully they ball out for us. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And again, let's get to that 20,000 subscriber mark. If we do, guys, I'm passing out $1,000 to somebody out there. I want to see you guys win. Win with me. Let's do it. Have good luck on all your entries tonight. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.